If your water heater keeps dripping from the pressure relief valve here, or your plumbing is making pressure noises, you may have a thermal expansion problem. Today I'm replacing a water heater, and I'll show you exactly how these systems work and why these thermal expansion tanks fail. Okay, so this is your expansion tank. So the way these work, really this is like a shock absorber for your home plumbing system. These work, there's a rubber bladder in here and then an air chamber up top. And so what happens when the water heater fires and starts heating water, there's expansion that occurs, right? Because the water heats up, there's expansion. So in our area, we got check valves out at the meters, making these homes a closed system. And so when the water heater heats up, there's that expansion that occurs, and this expansion tank is designed to take that expansion because this rubber bladder will flex up into this space to just help take that pressure. Without that, yeah, you get these pressure spikes. So that's one of the biggest causes if the little pressure relief valve on the water heater is dripping a little bit. The next thing to check would be the water pressure of the whole house. These expansion tanks can be basically installed anywhere on the system, honestly. Most of the time you'll see them by the water heaters. That's because it's just an easy serviceable place to do them, and that's what we'll be doing today. I'll show you how I'm installing it. I'm going to change some things up a little bit here too. Right now the shutoff valve is downstream of the expansion tank, so to change this we're going to have to shut the water of the whole house down, everything like that. So what I'm going to be doing is putting a valve here, making this more serviceable. These expansion tanks usually last about 5 years, honestly. It's got that rubber diaphragm in there that fails eventually, usually before the water heater. So it's one thing to keep an eye on. And yeah, the reason they fail is there's just a rubber diaphragm in there, and so just here's the use, you just wear them right out is the main cause. Also, high water pressure in the home. If your whole house pressure regulator fails and now all of a sudden you're getting really high water pressure in your whole house, that can cause these to fail. Those are the main two things that I see. Okay, so to start off the job, let's get this water heater draining down. We got the water off to the whole house already. I do have this valve off too. I'm gonna go ahead and open this valve up. Okay, so now we got the water shut off to the whole house. We can take this expansion tank out. Let me show you a little bit more here. This expansion tank is only a year old. However, we're still going to replace this with the water heater. These don't last forever, usually 4 or 5 years, honestly. You can see rubber usually right here, and that's the rubber diaphragm. So we got the bladder, we got the air chamber, and what you want to do is pressurize these with this valve, the bike pump or air compressor. And you want that air pressure to kind of match the line pressure in your house. So we'll double check. Usually that's around 60 psi. To test to see if your expansion tank has failed or not, there's an e-test. Again, we're a little past it, but because we've already drained out all the water, but you can just knock on them, and if they feel kind of waterlogged like a watermelon, then the bladder's probably failed. The other thing to do is let's check the pressure on this one too and see. Yeah, see, so we're right there at about 60. So yeah, this expansion tank is still good. However, we're gonna go ahead and replace it anyways, just so that we got a fresh tank with the fresh water heater. Let's go ahead and get that cut out. Oh, that's a lot of water. Okay, we got that in. Okay, now we're reinstalling this expansion tank. Let me show you what I like to do. So typically these expansion tanks go on the cold side. So what I like to do, we got this stainless steel. This is schedule 40 stainless steel. So what we can do here is thread this on here, and we got a lot of room here. I'm actually even gonna just send it out the back here so it's out of the way a little bit too. But we'll thread this together and then we can get that expansion tank on. We'll just wipe off this excess pipe dope here. Okay. Great, now we got the stainless steel T-nipple 90 on here. That's going to be where our expansion tank screws on. Let's get this expansion tank pumped up. So to do that, we want to match the line pressure. Typically I just set these at about 60, and we'll check the water pressure to make sure we can adjust it from there. But let's go ahead and get this thing pumped up. Without an expansion tank, one of the biggest problems that occurs is, so now the pressure has nowhere to go. So what's going to happen is it's just going to put extra pressure on the water heater tank itself. And so just over time, I mean, every firing cycle, it'll do this and it'll get that pressure spike. It can cause micro cracks on the water heater tank. And over time, years and years, that just wears out the water heater faster. So that's probably the biggest concern with not having a proper expansion tank. Yeah, that's one of the best protections you can do for your water heater, right along with just whole house water pressure. So to do this, get this pumped up, just take this off. So you just got a Schrader valve like this, got our air compressor right here, and we can just pump it up like this. Yeah, just got a tire gauge right here. Check it. Let's see if I'm going to show you right here. Wow. Perfect, right about 60. It's not rocket science. It's thermodynamics. It's not rocket science. You don't have to match it pressure pound per pound on your expansion tank here. Honestly, I feel like give or take 5-10 pounds is going to be good. Let's get this installed. A couple things to note: there is a wrong way and a right way to install these. Typical is like this, where you have the air chamber above the water bladder chamber. That's the best, right? So then you don't have all this heavy water weighing down on that bladder. So this is the way I usually like to install them. Sometimes I'll lay them on their side. That's okay too. Improper installation would be like this, right? I've seen them installed like this a lot. Honestly, in the diagram it shows them installed like this, and it still works. What it does, right, is just going to put extra strain on that bladder, probably wear out a little quicker. So correct orientation can help extend the life of these as well. Now we got it pressured up. Let's get this installed. That looks good. See, it's out of the way. We can get our water tied in here. To test these, to check these to see if they've failed or not, you don't have to remove them. It's real simple. Just tap them to figure out if they're waterlogged or not. Usually you can tell if they're waterlogged or not. And usually you can change these simply with shutting the water off right here close, bleeding a little pressure off, and removing the tank and reinstalling. So super easy, but it's one of the best protections you can have on your water heater, honestly, in closed systems. So understanding how this system works can save a lot of headache and solve a lot of problems before they even happen. So it's good to regularly check these every year or so. Just give them a little tap, and that's going to tell you what you need to know. And it's best to replace them as soon as possible before you start having these other problems. Okay, that's good in. Make sure we date this. Just put a Sharpie right on it. So we're 3/6/26. I usually just write at 60 psi. So then checking it later, you know, hey, I had 60 psi in there. Why don't I have 60 psi now? Do I have a problem? What's going on? So it's a good way to be able to reference that. Okay, we got this all hooked up too. We can go ahead and press these up. Yeah, if you want to learn more about plumbing systems, subscribe to my channel. Going through, working on getting my 40 years of plumbing knowledge video documented and shared. So be sure to check out my channel and subscribe for more.